Alright guys, what is up? My name is XIKIZOID and welcome back to the channel and to the playthrough of A Cottage Story, the cottagecore romance novel, like visual novel I should say. I'm super excited to continue playing this game. In the last episode we met a beautiful elf called Nimril who has a very mysterious past and a very mysterious disease that we must heal her of. So that's really interesting. I'm wondering how the whole plot is gonna play out. So let us just jump right back in and load up our save file. Okay, so it says, or rather we say, if you're going to be staying here, I need to set some rules first, and I wonder what those rules are gonna be, so let us see. Starting from that day, Rostenward gained a new resident and XIKIZOID a roommate. It was also the beginning of a long journey to find the cure for Nim's disease. So it was a very long journey, damn. Act 2. What are you doing with all of those? Is that why you were gone yesterday, we ask? There's several stacks of square fabric patterns organized on the coffee table in an array of colors. However, the greens are dominant because that's Catriona's favorite color. Oh, wait a minute, that's Catriona herself, isn't it? Catriona herself is bent over the table, picking apart the different pieces. A few strands of grey hair stray from her bun as she adjusts her reading glasses. Holy hell, I did not expect that we were gonna meet Catriona, who is, if you guys don't know, if you haven't watched like the previous episodes, Catriona is basically the one who found us in the river. We were drowned, we were like almost drowned by our adoptive parents, and she basically saved our life, and she took us in and nurtured us and raised us as one of her own. And she was basically the apothecary that was working here in Rosenward before us. And she's our godmother, or like our adoptive mother as well. So let's continue. I'm making a block quilt, Catriona says. She holds up two of the blocks. In her left hand is a yellow block with adorable little bees smiling. The other has bright yellow, orange and red poppies that seem to jump off of the block. Do you prefer bees or wildflowers? Oh, I'm gonna say, let's say bees. Yeah, I prefer bees. Really? You don't think the flowers look better? I like bees, we say. Alright, I'll put on a few bees just for you. Catriona's eyes squint as she smiles. A sewing machine manifests on the table. Catriona gets right to work on the block quilt. It looks nice. I'm guessing this is for the stuffing? XIKIZOID's hand lingers over a bag of fluff. Yes, I'm hoping to introduce this to the goblins. They go absolutely ballistic when they find an abandoned cloak. Imagine their reaction to something homemade. Yeah, that would be so cool. Are you going to teach them how to quilt? Darling, I would, but sewing machines are simply not made for goblins. Yeah, they're made for humans. Catriona smiles softly even as she's working on the quilt. Ziki sits against the sofa with her favorite mug and sips. She could have sworn she brewed chamomile, but the tea tastes like lavender. So maybe the tea's changeling as well, because if you guys remember from the previous episodes, we are actually a changeling, which means we are a shape-shifting creature, which is super interesting, but we never basically use our abilities to actually shift our appearance or change our appearance. So there was this elf yesterday. They said they knew you. That seems unlikely. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. What? Wait a minute. Is this a flashback, or is this like something that happens right now after we meet the elf? I'm so confused, but let's find out. So Ziki says, we say, I thought so too, but it didn't look like they were lying. You saved their life. Prolonged. That is all that medicine is, really. You can only prolong life for so long. If they weren't supposed to die, I think it's a good thing. Yes, well, no one wants to die sooner than they have to, I suppose. Ouch, Catriona says. Red seeps into the cream-colored quilt Catriona is working on. She sucks on the injured finger. Must be my age. Don't say that, it's an old sewing machine. Catriona stands up and waves her hand gently. That makes two of us. I'm going to get out to get a better look at this. Ziki immediately gets up and follows. Don't go, we have bandages. XIKIZOID's godmother turns to look at her. It's a straight-on gaze that causes XIKIZOID to halt immediately, and Catriona raised a hand on the apothecary's curly head of hair. What are you so worried about? It's only a little blood. Sometimes everyday things are dangerous, but we cannot get anywhere in life simply expecting to get hurt. We need to do what we love anyway. I wish you would stay here. Catriona is walking away towards the front door. XIKIZOID tries to catch up to her, but the space between the living room and front porch starts to stretch impossibly. Stop, stop, we say. You can't be afraid of what's to come. I raised you to be made of stronger steel than that. Wait a minute, what's going on? Is she like leaving forever? That was something Catriona used to say all the time. The front door creaks open so a ray of light blinds XIKIZOID. Catriona's features rapidly age before her. Don't cry, I hate seeing you cry. Holy hell, wait a minute. Ziki wakes up. Oh, this was just a dream. Okay, it was just a dream. Or a nightmare, I should say. XIKIZOID turns over to the source of the snoring. It's just Nim. I wish I would stop getting those dreams. Ziki lies still in her bed for a couple of minutes, eyes glued to the ceiling, but any hope of restful sleep was lost. She slips into her loafers and quietly leaves the bedroom. XIKIZOID could hear the morning birds chirping, so it's not nearly as early as she expected. There's only a single photo of Catriona and XIKIZOID in the cottage. It sat by the rotary phone and still looked new, because she would never let it collect dust. Ziki remembers the day as though it were yesterday. It was a rare moment where they had a guest over, and it was the first time XIKIZOID saw Catriona so nervous. The whole day was spent storing away odd trinkets and hiding any trace of the unordinary. Then everything had to be moved toward the photography setup. A man stood behind the camera. What looked like two enormous lamps shined down on Catriona, diligently worked back and forth within the man. So XIKIZOID felt like an ornament in the background. She was silent, adjusted and moved ever so slightly until eventually it was over. A week later the frame and photos were sent over. It was tedious, but it didn't feel important, but now XIKIZOID wishes they would have taken more pictures together. With a sigh, XIKIZOID sets down the photo. There is nothing to do this early, but she starts cleaning up the living room anyway. Although accustomed to strangers crashing at her cottage by now, XIKIZOID had to admit that even goblins were tidier than Nim. Nim's belongings were strewn haphazardly all over the couch from the day before. Should we? I actually think we should ignore her belongings for now. There's another piece of advice Catriona would always say, mind your business. That is true. So XIKIZOID was fairly good at that one. Oh, suddenly a shriek emanates from the bedroom and Nim runs out, a bone-deep fear in their eyes. They see XIKIZOID and grabs her by her shoulders. XIKIZOID, the bedroom! What's wrong? Flying cockroach? A cockroach! XIKIZOID immediately relaxes. It sounds like someone broke into the house. She begins to shuffle off one of her shoes with a sigh. I'll take care of it. XIKIZOID, I could marry you, Nimriel says. Nim fakes a swoon and drapes themselves over XIKIZOID right as the front door swings open. Hey XIKIZOID, there are rabbits eating your plants outside. Hey! What? Who's that? Whoa, a goblin, they're even smaller in person. The hell is that supposed to mean? You must be one of XIKIZOID's patients. I'm her new roommate. Roommate, Klavka says. What, since when? Klavka, this is Nimriel. They visited me yesterday about an illness they had and will be staying in the cottage for the time being. Okay. Yep, be it sleeping out on the cold, hard forest floor, I kind of owe XIKIZOID my life. I can see it now. Every night will be like a slumber party. Klavka crosses her arms and looks Nim up and down in silent judgment. If you're a patient, I guess it's fine. Why are you looking at me like that? I'm not a hobo. Ooh, isn't that offensive? Like, I don't want to say that word. I don't know. What kind of disease do you even have for you to stay here so long? If I knew, I wouldn't be here, says Nimriel, and she's not impressed at all. Look at her face. So, is it cancer? Elf? Cancer? If it was elf cancer, I think I would know. So rabies then. Wow. XIKIZOID interrupts Klavka's interrogation. Speaking of Nim's disease, I should probably start their consultations soon. In an hour or so, more regulars will start coming in. Klavka looks hesitant to leave, but XIKIZOID will have to explain the circumstances later. Well, for what it's worth, it was nice meeting you, Giraffe Car. Giraffe Car? What? It's Klavka. How the hell did you get Giraffe Car from that? I'm not the best with names, alright? XIKIZOID reaches for the door. Klavka, I'll talk to you later. You better. Okay, but what about the cockroach? There was a flying cockroach right there, and now it's Klavka, and what's going on? So, XIKIZOID settles into the rocking chair with a notepad and pencil, as Nim fiddles with the tea bag steeping in their chamomile. In truth, this was less of a consultation and more of a puzzle. XIKIZOID couldn't very well prescribe Nim something that didn't exist, but hoped to at least find the correct pieces. The corner pieces, actually. So XIKIZOID has to admit, despite all of the fuss Nim kicked up in the beginning, they settled into the cottage quite easily. The queen-size bed was theirs, and although a stranger to the bathroom, everything was going swimmingly. Nim swore up and down that they could be trusted, and so far they hadn't incurred any strikes, but it had only been a day. She eagerly brings the tea up to their... Oh, they actually, I'm sorry, it's they. They eagerly bring the teacup to their mouth. Ouch, hot. Be careful, we say. Imagine it's the tea that kills me and not my fatal illness. How ironic would that be? I want you to know this consultation is for your physical problems, but I can't help you mentally. Ouch. Let's start with the obvious. Can you describe what you've been experiencing? Well, for starters, I'm fatigued all the time. I get tired way more easily than I used to. Eating and sleeping doesn't help much either. Fatigue. I brushed it off at first, but like maybe I was having an off week, but it's gotten worse and worse over time. My hair has been falling out, and I've been really moody lately. I think my hormones are all out of whack. Imagine if she's like pregnant or something, and she thinks it's an illness, but it's not actually. You said this illness was genetic. Did this happen to your family members too? Yes, my uncle and my sister had it too, so if it's an uncle, then it's not like giving birth. Okay, so... What scares me the most is they would get the worst dizzy spells and then start fainting out of nowhere. After that, it wasn't long before they passed away. I've been getting that too. Even their sister passed away. I don't know how Nim stays sane having to deal with that. I cannot even handle losing one person. I'm sorry for your loss, we say. Yeah, I never knew what to say when people say sorry. I'm sorry. Stop that. Don't worry about me. Just keep your eyes on the prize, Doc. XIKIZOID laughs softly. Right. I wonder what it is about these spells that caused this. I'm gonna say... When did they start, probably? It happened last week, but it was a big red flag to me. It's actually why I started looking for Catriona again. I see. I thought that if I could cure it once, it would just go away. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if it was a curse. Other than being completely vague, XIKIZOID has a hard time seeing how Nim's disease could lead to such a sudden and ultimate untimely death. Hormonal deficiencies point towards a slow end, but the disease spells stand out to the apothecary. Hey, I've been thinking this for a while now, but after all those years it's like nothing has changed. XIKIZOID looks up from their note-taking. What do you mean? I feel like I'm experiencing deja vu, like I'm remembering everything about this place. Catriona was sitting right there in that rocking chair, nothing has changed about the cottage. I think she even had the same habit of tugging her ear. Everything is the same. XIKIZOID didn't even realize she had been tugging on her ear, actually. Are you sure you guys aren't blood related? How come you remember this and not the medicine? I don't know, medicine names are complicated. Who even remembers that stuff? I do. Okay, XIKIZOID, we get it, you're a doctor. Well, either way, it's not possible Catriona and I are related because I'm not human. You're not? I'm a changeling. Oh, we say. Oh. No wonder you're so young. You know what they are? I've heard of changelings but never met one in person, or at least not the one that announced it to the world like that. Am I not supposed to? Maybe. I don't know, doesn't that kind of defeat the whole purpose of being a changeling? You know you can shapeshift, right? Yeah, I know that. I'm pretty well familiar with that concept. So XIKIZOID, can you shapeshift into me right now? I'm not very good at it. I will probably look really bad. Nim gives a disappointed sigh. I forgot you're adopted. Nim, I did have a question I meant to ask. How many years do changelings have? Are they short-lived? Actually, I don't care if it looks bad, really. Nim, how long can changelings live for? I think it should be like elves. If you're lucky, you might live to see your 500th birthday. 500? Nim looks at XIKIZOID as if they just told her she won the lottery, but all the apothecary can feel is dread. XIKIZOID slowly runs her hand through her hair. She was not thinking. She didn't know what to think. We're getting off topic, we say. Let's focus on the task at hand. So that's a no to the shapeshifting then? Nim, task at hand. Instead, XIKIZOID looks at their notes. She was doing a good job here. She was supposed to be helping Nim. The words on the page seem suddenly hard to read, but the apothecary attempts to refocus. Fatigue, brittle hair, moodiness, fainting. It's a vague combination of symptoms, but the way Nim describes it is strange. Why is it so gradual? I think I have a better idea of what I'm looking for. I'm just going to run some physical tests now. Nim peers over at XIKIZOID as they head to the kitchen. Cabinets fly open and XIKIZOID rummages through numerous jars and bottles before coming to a halt. She holds up a black jar. The inside squirms. Oh, don't tell me this is like leeches or something like that. Is that leeches? What do you got there, XIKIZOID? I need to draw your blood. It is... Guys, it's leeches. I need to draw your blood. She opens the jar and picks out a slippery black leech. She approaches Nim and she continues to regret their life choices. They regret their life choices, actually. Give me your arm. Oh no, you're not. What is that? Nim attempts to scramble off the couch, but XIKIZOID grabs their arm. She pushes their sleeves back, readying the leech with her other hand. Just relax. And Nimril is like screaming right now. Oh my god, that's so weird. Why do you need a leech? Don't you have like I mean, she doesn't have, like, we don't have actual syringes probably, or stuff like that that's usually used in like normal medicine. Is that it? Is that the last test? There's a box of medical supplies and numerous specialized equipment on the table. XIKIZOID removes the stethoscope from Nim's chest and goes to scribble a few notes, a few final notes on her pad. Yes. I'm confident that nothing I have can cure you. Do you want to kill me faster? Can you say that one more time gently? Well, nothing on hand. There's an herb that supplements hormonal deficiencies and is said to alleviate headaches. Blackwood thistle. Its parts can be extracted to make a potent drug that is currently out of season. I cannot think of anything else that could be the cure. Normally, I would have saved some for the spring, but I'm not the only one who harvests it. There's a goblin who likes to hoard this particular plant every year, and he's never been keen on sharing. A goblin? I'll fight him. No, we say. I can make it look like an accident. Goblins are like, what, 2 feet tall? 1 kick is all it takes. No. A cheerful voice from outside interrupts Nim and XIKIZOID's discussion. XIKIZOID, are you open? And who could that be? Rufus. Oh no, the pixie mother. She excuses herself from Nim and leaves to open the door. I'm sorry, do you have a guest over? I can come back another time. No, we were just finishing up. What did you need? I need to ask you something super important. Life-changing even. Life-changing? XIKIZOID glances at Nim before ushering them over. Nim, I think this concludes our consultation. I need to help this clan, but even after my regulars will probably start stopping by. In the meantime, I was thinking you could familiarize yourself with Rosenward. It might help to get to know the area a bit. You would kick out the sick person? Nimril asks. I'm kidding. I could use some fresh air anyway. Nim quickly grabs for their knapsack and accompanies XIKIZOID back to the front door. Why, hello, you must be new to Rosenward. I'm Deidre. I'm Nimril, but you can call me Nim. The pixie mother excitedly flies over to XIKIZOID's side, speaking in a hushed tone. Who is this? They look just like a model. Could it be you had a partner and I didn't know about it? XIKIZOID's eyes widen and she mouths the words no to Deidre before briefly swatting her away. Swatting her away like she's a little fly, dude. Me, she is kind of like a... But she's a pixie, you know. So what did you need? Alright, I'm gonna get to the chase. The spring festival is coming and up in the fairies are planning something big. It'll be held right at the heart of Rosenward where all the fairy flowers are blooming. There's more drinks, more games, and we want everyone to be there. Will you be coming or not? The fairies have been working hard at taking care of the flowers for the spring festival. It is especially important because they're used as fairy beds, the place where their young are born and raised. Despite being so reserved, XIKIZOID went to the spring festival every year. Most of the forest residents kept to themselves, but the festival brought Rosenward together. It wasn't a question of whether XIKIZOID would be at the festival or not, but it was one of those events that was family friendly in the daytime and got more risque when the sun set. Oh my god, no. I'm gonna say, what do you usually do at a spring festival? I stay long enough for free drinks. I always stay for the events, or I don't like to stay late. I'm gonna say I always stay for the events. Oh, this will be perfect for you. I do have a good hedgehog race. My hedgehog never wins. We have a hedgehog, don't we? The secret is to give them funny little boots so they run faster. What? Thank you for your wisdom, fairy, Deidre. You know, my husband and I are celebrating our anniversary at the spring festival. We actually met in one of those events. He looks after the kids at home and I'm always out and about. He's quiet, but he always shows he cares in his own way. Honestly, you remind me of him. I guess opposites do attract. What about you, XIKIZOID? Is there anyone you like? This year we're going to have a big fairy ring around the rhododendron tree. Oh my god, I cannot read. Rhododendron tree. So anyone who dances in the ring will have good fortune bestowed upon them. And it said if you dance with your special someone, love might just bloom. Look at the fairy's face. Oh my god, the pixie's face, dude. She's so cute. Come on, who could melt the cold heart of the apothecary? I promise I will only keep it between the two of us. Cold heart? Will it really come off that way? Well, someone I like. Ooh. And here we have the choice, guys. Oh my god, I'm kind of excited about this choice. I believe Rufus is the best one for us because we have like a common shared interest. Because with Klavka, I don't believe that we're like, I don't know, I don't even know. Klavka is actually pretty cute, but I think she's like, I'm not getting like a good vibe from Klavka, I wouldn't say. And the Satyr, the Rufus like is pretty good. We have like books in common. And even though Klavka is like super cool, she always helps us out. And she's being like super nice to us all the time. And so I met this elf, we could say about Nimril, but I don't think Nimril is like good for us. So ooh, I'm gonna go, actually, you know what, I'm gonna go with Klavka this time. So there's this goblin, she's actually a close friend of mine. I've known her ever since we were little. Also, we were childhood friends, how sweet. I don't know if I would have called her my friend when I was younger. What I like best about her is that she's reliable. I cannot count the times she's helped me out. Once I came home from the foraging trip and I forgot to lock the door. There was someone inside, he was armed and looking for anything that was valuable. When I told Klavka, she didn't even think twice before storming in. She beat him up and threatened to kill him, but I could tell she was going easy on him. Klavka might seem tough on the outside, but she's never cruel. Oh, I see how it is. You're into bad girls with a soft side. Oh my god. Does anyone else come to mind? We could say all of them actually. What? No, I'm gonna say that's it for now. Alright, that settles it. I better see you and your crush at the spring festival. Maybe. What's the time? I better hurry home. I'm sure my husband might be worried. I promised we would finally do some baking together with the kids. I'll leave you to it then. Thank you for dropping by. Oh, XIKIZOID, it was my pleasure. I feel like I saw a side of you I don't normally see. Really? Yeah, I can already see you getting swept away by that wild goblin of your dreams. Wild? Oh, stop. I might have to kick you out now. Okay, that's so cute, dude. After Deidre leaves, the rest of the day passes with relative ease as XIKIZOID consults with the rest of her regulars. She makes lunch for two, cream of mushroom soup with sourdough bread, but Nim is nowhere to be found. It isn't until the sky is orange and the soup is cold that Nim saunters back with the flower crown and a half-empty drink in hand. Even without asking, XIKIZOID could tell they only met the satyrs. They lean over XIKIZOID, almost dropping the crude wooden cup. I feel kinda faint, Nimril says. Is this a regular Tuesday for you? It is not every day I have a drink with satyrs in a magical forest, so no, don't worry about me, I am fine. Alright guys, I'm gonna end this one here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I try to keep these, like I always say, as short as possible, so you guys can like get to know the story as well as I can. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a comment down below and subscribe for more videos of A Cottage Story and other visual novels as well, other indie games that I'm gonna play in the future. So yeah, thank you guys once again, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye!